Welcome, one and all, to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us tonight for the Cookout Podcast, where we talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling.
It was quite the intro. Yes, as usual, we are here on Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. where Sammy Joe is over there in the middle of the country. So let's see. I guess tonight we're going to see if CM comes in with a couple clowns of the week. I don't know if you have a clown or not. I know. I mean, she always has Phil Brooks. So who is? I guess your current. You can comment on this. He's the current WWE champion. Is that correct?
Who?
CM Punk.
Oh, is he?
Oh, you don't know? I thought you were still
Uh,
watching.
I watched SmackDown.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I thought I saw somewhere on Facebook that he was the new WWE champion. So I didn't see that, but I mean, because I haven't
It,
been watching
it,
WWE, but
it's honestly been a hot minute since I actually tuned into Raw.
yeah. Yep, yep. No, I mean, you were asking right before we started. Why don't you ask what you asked again, and we'll talk about it. We'll make it our first little topic of the
I,
night.
s- I said that whenever there's a WWE pay per view, I feel no hype about it. I hold little interest in watching the shows, and yet the ratings for WWE are so much higher than the ratings for AEW, and I just don't understand it because, like, I actually like get hyped about any of the AEW pay per views. Like,
Yeah. No, I mean that's a valid question. I mean, I don't know. At this point, it feels like there's really not much WWE can do to hurt its numbers. I mean, not only is their product not great at the moment, but they as a company continue to make horrible decisions, just and align themselves with bad
mm,
people, and it's just like I mean, at some point, when is enough enough? I mean, some of us have turned away, but clearly not enough, you know. And don't get me wrong, that's not to imply that AEW is perfect because it's not by any stretch of the imagination, or TNA or MLW or New Japan or any of those places. They all have their issues. I mean, if you're a New Japan fan, you complain about Gato's booking, right? I mean, you complain about nepotism, all those kinds of things. Not nepotism, but favoritism. I mean, lots of guys have been given a longer leash than they should have been, maybe potentially, and all those kinds of things. So I mean, but as a company, WWE is not and it has not created a very good footprint, a very ethical footprint, and it continues to be, as such under TKO. I mean, they're not doing any better. So, I thought things might get a little bit better once Vince left. I think it's gotten worse, honestly.
yeah,
I mean, I think it's
no, the
not
money
just
just
the
keeps rolling
product.
in, though.
Yeah, not just the product. I mean, not just the product, but the business itself, the company. It just feels like it's worse than it was before. So yeah, the money just keeps rolling in. The only thing that I can contribute that to is simply just the 50 years of creating a fan base. I mean, that's just all I can I mean, I don't know what else to attribute it to. I mean, it's I mean, you want to say tribalism and people don't want to whatever, and maybe that's true. I mean, but I think a lot every wrestling fan I know personally, and I know, quite a few, watch both AEW and WWE. I don't really know anybody that doesn't watch other than like CM who doesn't watch it because, WWE's bad company, or like myself who's not watching it anymore because of its, what it's do. But beyond that, I mean, most wrestling fans have watched both. Most wrestling fans watch wrestling, whatever it is that comes along. It's a big deal. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's got to just have to do with all the years of watching it. And, I hate to say it, but the tradition that WWE has become. I mean, your dad watched wrestling, and
Hmm.
now you watch
NWA.
wrestling, and your kids are going to probably watch wrestling if if when you have them, whatever the case may be. I mean, CM's kids already watch wrestling, so I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, luckily she's creating new AEW fans, which is great, right? There's a whole younger generation of AEW fans, which is great, and hopefully that holds AEW. And in 5 or 10 years, we're talking about a far less bigger margin between the ratings, but I mean, it's not the product. It's not the product. It's not the company. So what else can it be? It has to have something to do with simply being a fan. I mean, it's one of those things. You watch Monday Night Raw. You just do. I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, that's what you do. You've been watching it for however long you've been watching it. Some people 25, 30 years. It doesn't matter where it is, but you've been watching it, and that's what you do. So
Tribalism is definitely a thing. Like for the last pay per view, Wrestle Dream, after the show, I watched it live, in
right,
person. But after the show, I went online to watch the post scrum, whatever.
yeah,
And like half the people who were in the chat were just hating on AEW. And I'm like, they don't do this for WWE, do they? Like, there's not this many
yeah.
people who tune into a WWE thing just to hate on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure
Like,
why people
do
choose to do that. I mean, I don't, and
do
and
these
and a
people
little,
actually even watch the show? Do they just go online
right?
to bash the company? Like,
Yeah, the whole thing is weird. And for what, in defense of a company that's far worse for all intents and purposes, or at least it seems far worse. I mean, and has a worse product. I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, I don't know how you can prefer WWE at this point over AEW. The wrestling
like,
itself is extremely better at AEW than it is at WWE.
like the one thing you could give them is the women. And honestly, with all the hate online that women's wrestling gets, like, I don't know. But like that's the
Yeah,
one
I mean,
thing I'd give to WWE over AEW is I think that they have a better women's division.
with
But
Mercedes
that top
May,
talent in AEW is spectacular. It's just they
yeah,
don't have, you know, 20 women at that level.
right. I mean, it's always debatable who's at the top of whatever list you're putting together, but definitely WWE had a coup by getting Stephanie Vaquer and Julia to come sign with them as opposed to
Oh
AEW.
yeah.
Those are big deals. I mean, they're big deals. And that's
If
something.
the
I mean,
two of them went
AEW,
to AEW instead,
yeah.
I think it'd be a very even race going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, with Mercedes and Athena and Tony Storm and some of the other people that you can, put
Hmm.
together at AEW, I mean, it's not shabby over there. I mean, it's definitely not. So,
No, like the top end is really good. It's just they don't have as
as
wide of a
deep,
base of that top end.
yeah, as deep a roster for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, you would hope at some point that the cows come home to roost and people realize that AEW really is not just better wrestling, but a better company. And if you want to be behind something and support something it seems, as best we can tell, that they're actually kind of worth supporting. I mean, it's another company, it's a billionaire, it is what it is, you're all those things, but at least it seems to be a little bit better than what WWE is. So
But as it comes to the men, like so much more interested in what AEW is doing.
yeah. I was reading an article that they were saying that I guess John Cena is doing a tournament, right, for the person that gets to face him last. Um, and they were mentioning that is there any chance that they could broker some sort of deal to bring a couple AEW guys, i.e., Adam Copeland, because of the history there, to come back for at least a one-off with John Cena because the history and all those things.
Uh, AEW has said before that they're open to it. They just have to mention that they're an AEW wrestler,
Yeah,
and
no, I mean,
WWE is not willing to.
yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that's ever going to happen. But I mean, in the the pipe dream is kind of interesting, I guess. Not that I care because it would be on WWE soil and I wouldn't be watching it anyhow. But what do you think, just
But
in
that seems
general,
like a
about
fair
that?
thing, right? Like WWE does that with TNA and
Hmm?
AAA. Of
Yeah,
they mentioned, oh, they wrestle for blah blah blah.
mhm. Yeah, they bring them in, mention who they wrestle for, and then squash them and take their titles. Yeah, absolutely, they do
Yeah,
that stuff.
AEW is
Make
just
people make
asking
it
for
hard,
that.
make them look
But
terrible. Yeah, no, they, No, I mean, do you like the idea? Do you like the John Cena tournament to see who wrestles him last? And who do you think who do you think his final match should be against? Who do you think should win the
Uh,
tournament, and who should it be against?
hmm. Honestly, I'd probably enjoy it being Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah,
Because like I don't expect the person to win.
sure.
Like this isn't, New Japan, where, normally like if you're leaving you go out on your shield.
Right. Which reminds me, I was reading somewhere Tanahashi's apparently going to have his retirement match.
I
So, which
mean,
I know it's a long
eh,
time coming for sure. Those knees have been shot
yeah.
for a while now. Yeah. No, and I was telling Anika, I was like, when he comes over, because he was just in AEW for a minute, right? And that was at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and whatever that match he was in with the against the Death Riders and whatever. And I was like, yeah, just watch. You could see his knees are good. Like he's old and shot. Like
Yeah.
it's just like yeah, yeah,
Honestly, I feel like we should be getting to the point for Naito now.
yeah, yeah. But no, Naito's been around for a long time now. For
Yeah. Naito's looking pretty old and sluggish out there.
yeah, yeah. No, I guess Takeshita is taking on Yota Tsuji for the title. That should be a phenomenal match. Which
Suji is good. Suji's
yeah,
real good.
yeah,
He's the dude who I think could make a move to the American market.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I like Takeshita, so that should be a good match. Yeah, no, it's interesting. The state of wrestling is very interesting, and just kind of how WWE continues to be what feels like blindly supported. Cody Rhodes might retire. Did you see that?
I didn't see it, but I saw that you guys were talking about it in the chat when I was getting on
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was hinting around about it. Dolores was mentioning it. I guess he hinted around about it. I mean, well, his brother continues. So his brother was just. I saw a quote from Dustin who said, "Yeah, recovering from double knee surgery, plan to be back. Could be a character change in the works." So Dustin, who can't be kept out of wrestling, and Cody, who's going to retire willingly. It's just interesting the difference in people's, even from the same family.
I mean, we all have a lot of love and respect for Dustin.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I was him,
Like,
I wouldn't be coming back at 55 after double knee surgery. But that's why he's a professional wrestler, and I'm not, right? I mean, he's got that type of personality. So, I mean, retiring
like
before you have those kind of issues. If you're Cody Rhodes and you're watching your brother, and you're like, "Oh, I'm still somewhat, my body's still somewhat okay. And if I, wrestle another 5 or 10 years, it won't be then, or there's a chance that it won't be then. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I feel like I've made enough money. There's other things I can do in wrestling or outside of wrestling that I want to pursue that are not, and I've done what I wanted to do. And yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's a young
I've
man's game
only
to a certain extent, and he's not all that young. So, yeah.
yeah, I've only seen Dustin get hate for one thing.
What was
He
that?
called someone ratchet,
Oh,
and basically the internet told him he's too white to use that word.
you too like to use that word. That's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've been on here vocally, supporting Dustin Rhodes. I like Dustin Rhodes. I think he's probably the most talented of his family. I think he's probably,
Hmm.
the least, as far as on the totem pole, he's definitely had the least probably successful career.
I
Um,
mean, I'd
but
say his dad was the better promo, but in ring wise, yeah, I think he's the
yeah,
best of the family.
yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not losing any sleep over, Cody Rhodes retiring, and I'm sure he'll have a fine life after wrestling. And more power to him.
It's
We're critical of people staying too long, right? The Ric Flairs and the Stings and the whatevers or whoever it is, that stayed too long. And it's like you don't know when it's time to go. And yeah, so
I definitely thought he'd be around for another half decade, though. Like, what is he, 37?
yeah. I mean, I'd have to Google it, but I don't even think he's quite 40 yet. So It's very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to read more about the article because I didn't see like how long it said he might continue. I don't know if it's like I'm retiring tomorrow or if it's like, oh, I think I got maybe, a year or two left, but whatever the case may be. Still very interesting. Let's see. Rusev
Uh,
had some comments. He said, what did he say? He said, let's see. Rusev didn't directly confirm or deny any rumors that he was pulled from AEW TV for refusing to lose. Instead, he focused on the emotional toll of being stuck on the sidelines while his body and passion sat idle. He said, in the past 5 years, I've had 20 or 30 matches. Back in the day, I had 30 matches in 30 days. The dead time sticks out the most. We only have this body and this age for so long. We can't do this job forever, so we must take advantage of it while we're young. I sat on the sidelines for so long, unable to do what I love, which is performing for people in professional wrestling.
hear that?
Interesting.
Can you hear that?
Interesting.
It's a real smallest violin playing just for Rusev.
You're not buying it, huh? Sob story. I mean,
Honestly,
no.
like he refused to work because he didn't want to lose. And then he goes to WWE, and what does he do? He loses. Like, you didn't want to lose for them, so you can lose for another company instead. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't been watching WWE, so I don't know what he's doing over there. But it did seem very weird. I mean, it's definitely odd. I mean, I never felt like I always thought that they didn't quite get out of Rusev what you could have gotten out of him, or didn't. They kind of missed the boat a little bit. Didn't always,
I thought
I
his
don't know, fit with
championship
them.
run was great. Like, I thought that they were using him quite well. And then he just wasn't on TV anymore. And we were like, well, what's the deal? And, now we find out, you know, well, that and he was injured too.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Some
But
people just, I don't know.
you, you, who
I
wins
read
all the
the weird.
time?
Yeah, wrestling is one of those really weird things, right? Because you feel like you see people that over and over again that get to a certain point where it's like, I feel like I'm too big to lose, or I'm not willing to lose that way, or I'm not, Uh, and don't get me wrong, maybe he's right or wrong, and you can have your own opinion about it. There is no right or wrong. But I mean, Bret Hart, I'm willing to lose the title, but not to Shawn Michaels, not in Montreal. I'm willing to lose it on Monday Night Raw the next night to somebody else, but I'm not willing to lose it to Shawn Michaels, not that guy. It's like, well, wait a second. I mean, I get it. You have your issues and Sean's a douche, but whatever the case may be, all those things, I get it. It's still
So I think what he said is he would be willing to lose that night, but not to Shawn Michaels. And he would be willing to lose
okay,
to Shawn Michaels the next
but not
day,
but not that
but
night.
not to Shawn Michaels at that night.
Not that night. Yeah, I mean, could be a little more petty. I mean, to a certain extent, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't, you can, Bret Hart had all the reason in the world to be petty and all those things, but that's not a new wrestling, concept, right? A lot of wrestlers are very, are unwilling to be shown in a weak position, right? So, um,
Well,
or vulnerable.
it was also at home to a dude who like had no respect for him, so he lost all respect for him.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, the whole thing is what it is. I mean, it's when wrestling goes bad, right? I mean, that's one of those times where it's like, whatever happens in the back actually becomes real to a certain extent, and those real life
Hmm.
grudges become actual hatred. I mean, those two really don't like each other. They never have, and they never will. So, or maybe they did at some point, but they definitely don't now, and they haven't for long. So, but I'm just
Wrestling
saying, like,
needs more Dolph Zigglers and less Rusevs.
yeah, no, I mean, we often talk about why certain people get over and why certain people don't, why certain people are on TV and others don't, why certain people get to call and others don't. And I'm sure that a lot of it simply has to do with attitude and the way you respond and the willingness, what you're willing to do and all those things. I mean, the reason that Miz is definitely not the best promo, although he's a very solid promo. He's become very good over the years. He's definitely not the best wrestler, although he's become better and he's a solid worker. But the reason the Miz has been, one of the focal points of WWE for 25 years or 20 years is because he says yes when they ask him to do something. It doesn't really
Yeah,
matter what it is, and
yeah.
the
They want him
reality
to
is
pee his
that
pants. He'll do it.
the reality is you can probably say no a couple times, but if you say no 3 or 4 or 5 times, they're going to stop coming to you. If your answer is always no, I'm not interested in that, then they're going to stop coming to you with ideas. So yeah, and then the writers' room might get very crowded or might get very small if you're not pitching your own ideas as far as what's being
Yeah.
talked about for you. So why
But
would
I'm
you want to
completely right
support?
on that statement, right? They ask him to pee his
Yeah.
pants. He'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And, I mean, it is what it is. There's something to be said for some people that aren't willing to do something that they consider as whatever. And I can understand that as well. And I'm not saying you have to do everything that the boss says. I'm not saying you have to be JR and put your ass on Vince McMahon's lip or your lips on Vince McMahon's ass. I mean, the reality
Ah,
is, yeah,
man.
I mean,
Uh, uh,
but some,
that was on camera. Imagine the stuff he had people doing behind the scenes. Ooh.
So I mean, I'm sure there's a limit for everybody. Some people's limit is much farther than others, and only you know what you're willing to do. But the reality is if the guy that says yes more often is going to get more storylines and more TV time and all those things. So, and whether you're difficult or not is you're going to be seen that way if you continue to just like, no, I'm not, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not willing to lose. No, I'm not willing to do that. It's, all right, well, but I guess sit here and do nothing. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, we tried, you didn't like it, so I guess we'll move on to somebody else that's willing to do what we want to do or likes what we're pitching. I mean,
I mean, every so often, a person is given that opportunity, like Jade Cargill, Goldberg, but like that's not a common thing. Like,
right.
Asuka. Asuka had a very long undefeated streak,
Yeah.
and then she lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there's also Aleister Black. He was undefeated for a year, but I think that's just because WWE wasn't paying attention and forgot. Like they never brought it up at all until I think the night that he lost. That was the first night that they mentioned he has been undefeated for so long, and that's the night he lost.
Yeah. I mean, when something's scripted anyhow, undefeated is all relative anyhow, right? So, but yes,
But I think that the only reason he was undefeated is because they forgot that they haven't had anybody beat him.
yeah. No, I mean that sounds probably highly likely. I mean, the reality is that I don't know how many writers or people they have in the creative room at either AEW or WWE. I think WWE's room is probably bigger than AEW's. But if you've got 50 men and 20 women, that's a lot of people to pay attention to try to focus on and then do something. I mean, in theory, you have them because you think at some point you can do something with them or you had an idea for them, and so that's a lot. I mean, some people aren't going, some people are going to get some, and some people aren't, and some things are going to get over, and the people that are difficult are going to get moved past, and the people that are good are going to get elevated to the top and all those things. So yeah, I mean, it's when it happens in one company, when you see somebody that's like in one company and it doesn't work, and it's like, okay, it might be the company, but when you see them go two places and it doesn't really work, or when you hear from multiple places, X the same thing, it's like that's a you problem. It just, at some point you have to become more amenable to doing what the creative team and the boss is asking you to do, I guess. I mean, and maybe the difference, maybe Rusev's willing to lose in WWE because the check is bigger. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. For some reason, he's willing to lose there that he wasn't willing to lose in AEW. I don't know what that looks like,
Uh,
but
I will say there are some real good talents in WWE, like Jacob Fatu. Love Jacob Fatu. Um, but like, there's not really a name that's like, oh yeah, I gotta watch this pay per view. Like, honestly trying to think. Like maybe Randy Orton for me, but that's just probably my personal bias.
Sure. Yeah. I
Um,
mean, there's some wrestlers in WWE that I, wish would move somewhere else. I mean, I still like Gunther. I like Ilya Dragunov. Um, there's a few others.
I
My
like
God.
Damian Priest.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Drew McIntyre.
There's some NXT guys. I think he's still in NXT. I think Obafemi's got a bright future. I think he's in a really bright
Mhm.
future. I think Trick Williams has a bright future. I like Ethan Page. Um,
But like the aspect of like must see, just I don't feel it.
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, when your biggest story is focused around a guy that really hasn't been relevant for 20 years, that tells you really all you need to know. I mean, I mean, John Cena hasn't really been relevant for a long time, and that's your big story at the moment. So,
Well, their second biggest story is what, Braun Breaker?
yes, I mean, I'm not even paying attention. I just know that Cena's a big deal at the moment. So I couldn't even tell you what is the next biggest story. I don't know. I mean, Braun Breaker has a bright future. I think Braun Breaker's got
Mhm.
a solid future. He's a good guy. I like
We're
Austin
we're in
Theory.
a we're in a very down time for wrestling. Like we'll check back in with the Royal Rumble, and maybe after the Rumble, like things will have picked up by then. But like right now, it really feels like they're twiddling their thumbs and just cashing in.
Yep. No, I mean, I wish the
Uh,
guys like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens would come over to AEW.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
I don't think
mean,
that's gonna happen.
honestly, I would love to have Damian Priest and Lance Archer in a tag team.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I could see Damian Priest with the Don Callis family.
Like I feel like that would be fantastic. And those two together in a tag team, like that's like Brothers of Destruction level right there.
Yeah. No, I
Like
mean they
they could
could.
be those two together could be the number one tag team in the world for me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I think guys could benefit from coming to AEW. At the same time, the more guys you bring in, again, other people get pushed out, and I don't know who, to a certain extent, is willing to be pushed out. I mean, not intentionally, but just by default, because there's only so much TV time. There's only so much all those things, right? There's only so many spots in the big picture, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And the thing is that like all the dudes who I mentioned, aside from Braun Breaker, aren't really in that position. Like the dudes who, I mean, well, aside from Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre just, faced off with Cody Rhodes. So, that's something.
right. Yeah,
But like, I don't know. I'm gonna take a wait and see approach and hope it gets better. But like right now, it feels pretty lackluster. But
yeah,
they do have talent there that like if they utilize could like become dudes who I'm actually hyped to see. It's just I don't feel the hype right now.
yeah. No, I can agree with that.
Like
Apparently, Brian Cage
especially with
got
Damian
pulled.
Priest, like Damian Priest is definitely a dude. Like the only thing is he's not getting any younger. He's honestly already up there in the years.
Yeah,
So it's sort of feeling like it, you only got him for like another half decade. Let's use him well.
yeah. No, I think that's probably very true. I mean, he's getting paid, he's getting on TV, I guess, and like you said, still getting the ratings for WWE, so he's probably feeling very fairly successful at the moment. I mean, I mean, I, I mean, I don't know. I would have to be a wrestler and have to be comparing like the offers from both WWE and AEW if you were getting offers and see like what the difference is to really gauge like because there are guys that you would think it's natural would go over to AEW or would leave WWE with an opportunity because of just, what I consider, maybe not the best booking or whatever the case may be, being, looked over too many times, all those kinds of things. But for whatever reason, they stay. I mean, with the ratings, and, like I've said in the past, there is still something to be said, even though I don't like it. And, there's still something to be said for the WWE stage and the
You know what would
wrestlers
be
and that.
hilarious
Well,
if Dominic Mysterio went to AEW and was treated like a babyface, even though like him acting the exact same, but the fans treating him like a babyface instead. That would
yeah,
be hilarious to me.
yeah. I mean, Dominic's another one. I mean, but again, WWE continues to pull in the ratings, so and they, continue to pay people. So I mean, I guess you can't argue. I mean, he's been
I
involved
mean,
in quite a
I
bit of
am slightly
television
optimistic for
storytelling.
the future when you got dudes like Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio,
Yeah,
because like they're young, like they still
yeah.
have plenty of future to them.
I agree. I agree. I
Let me
agree.
get up. Let me get up.
Anything else that you really wanted to talk about? I mean, I know it's only been a half an hour, but we can call it a short evening tonight if you want. Anything else
Um,
wrestling wise you wanted to address?
move, move. Don't make me sit on you. Go on. Go on. Uh, yeah, anything else to talk about?
We
Is
can talk about
CMLL working with AEW? Is that the one?
yes. And AAA works with WWE.
That is pretty funny. Not gonna lie. That those two have been feuding for so long, and now they both have their own sides to fight. So I'm
Yeah,
surprised that there's not a situation going on with the Japanese wrestling for that right now.
yeah,
I think that's mostly due to the Japanese companies being like, "We'll work with you. Like, we're not picking sides. We'll work with anybody."
yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, the reality is that WWE really hasn't worked with anybody. So AEW's really been AEW TNA. I guess Okada worked with TNA for a while, for at one point, and some other
Now
titles.
TNA is working with WWE.
Yeah, yeah, which is a big. I mean, that's kind of a big deal because it's really the first time WWE's really worked with other companies like that, right? So, and that
Uh,
that openly, like that openly,
yes, this openly.
um,
That's
this
the.
openly. So, the question is it going to be, extended to any other company? So far, it's really been TNA only, so we'll see. But
Mhm.
I mean, for me, that's kind of the future, or not the future, but the hope. I mean, that's the pipe dream, right? Is that a show like Wrestle Dream is actually a situation where you can get like, a WWE champion versus an AEW champion, or something like that. Like guys that maybe, haven't wrestled in a long time or never wrestled or all those things that you wouldn't see because they're whatever, I mean, maybe, that's the true forbidden door, in my opinion.
Mm.
So, but it's
But
probably never going to happen.
that's not going to happen until one company buys the other, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or I guess if like WWE's ratings tank, because I feel like AEW would be open to working with them. I'm pretty sure it's WWE, the one that's like,
We
no,
don't need
like
to. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, book against them. That's their mentality.
Yeah, that's their
Oh, they're
mentality.
doing a show on this date. Let's do a show on that date.
Yeah, yeah. As opposed to work together for the better of professional wrestling, it's let's see, try and drive them out. I mean, they don't, as opposed to competition being a good thing, all those things. No, they don't want any competition. They want to be the only game in town. So,
Yeah, they want a monopoly.
1,000%, 1,000%. So, anything they can do to
But
undermine AEW.
the competition made them try to do better, and them trying to do better improve their ratings. Like, look at their ratings in like 2017 or whatever. Like, their company's doing better now, and for a while there, I never thought that they'd be doing as well as they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it baffles me. I mean, it's definitely baffling to me how
Like, it's clear
WWE.
that competition has improved their improved their ratings.
Yeah, yeah,
So, like, I would not be getting upset about the competition. I'd be like, let's lean into it.
yeah. No, yeah, I
Money's
mean,
money.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, there are some things that are definitely more important, and some things that are bigger. I mean, I don't, I'm not in the world of professional wrestling, but as a wrestling fan, there's something about, everything shouldn't just be based on money, but it is what it is. I mean, you
Well,
want to
like
wrestle where the best
it
wrestlers wrestle because you want to wrestle the best wrestlers, not just because that's where they're paying you the most or whatever the case may be, or
I mean, is
I
there
mean, I'm
some
not.
sort of grudge that I'm unaware of like how like they hate each other so much that only one can exist and
Yeah,
like
it's WWE's grudge with everybody else. I mean, just it's the way WWE's always been. I mean, that's cutthroat, and they want to be the only game in town. I mean, that's if you get too big, they try to buy you or destroy you or whatever they can. They take their people. They, all those things. I mean, it's nothing new.
is that the problem? They think that AEW is too big?
I honestly, I think the problem is that they haven't been able to bully AEW like they bullied other people. I mean, that everyone else that's come along, other than maybe Ted Turner, that's been any kind of what you might call, even in the word competition, has always been underfunded, has always been, you know, struggling to try to get by. Well, Tony Khan doesn't have those issues. I mean, Tony Khan is has money and he's not, he's got advertising and he's got backing and all those things, and he doesn't need, he can stand on his own, and WWE doesn't like that. So and he's, putting on great shows with great wrestlers, and he's getting wrestlers that are ex WWE guys. He's poached guys that are WWE guys. He's brought guys in that were independent guys that they were both vying for, and he's got them. I mean, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely there's definitely some competition there. They might deny it, they might say it's not, but it definitely is. Whether the ratings show it per se or not, WWE sure acts like it. So, yep, yep. Anything else, sir?
Who is more hated, Don Callis or Dominic Mysterio?
That's a really good question. Um, just probably simply for the fact that there's like that whole father son thing, and people are all hypersensitive about the way Dom's treated his father. He's probably a little bit more like, but at the same time, Don Callis is about as slimy as you can get. I mean, he definitely
Yeah,
is.
like that's another thing is that like the heat that Dominic has is kayfabe heat. Like with Don Callis, there's real life stuff behind why people hate him.
Yeah, and that's probably very well true. I mean, it doesn't feel like he has go away heat from the crowd in general. It feels like it's solid heel heat, but I'm sure there's probably some go away heat behind the scenes. I mean, I'm sure there are probably some real people that don't like him. I mean, as with anything, right? I mean, Me and Anika were talking about it the other day, I think on Winter Circle. She was referring to Don Callis as being very kind of Paul Heyman-esque, and I tend to agree with her. I mean, I could see they're very similar in kind of the way
Uh,
they perform and the things they do on screen. I don't know about their personal lives or how they are as people behind the screen, but
the
as
biggest
far as
benefit is that Don Callis doesn't hold power in the company. He's just on-screen talent that we get to hate. Like he can't actually control anybody's careers.
yeah. What's up, Hassan? It's been a minute. Thanks for joining us. Happy to have you back. Yeah. No, I mean, I I worry at times about the Don Callis family and factions in AEW getting too big. Just in general. And he continues to acquire more and more people to the Don Callis family. And what happens is that the more people you acquire, the more the best rise to the top, and the ones that don't are a little whatever go to the bottom, and those guys don't get anything, right? So, and or the
Well,
ones
I
that are the
mean,
best for
is
whatever
there a
reason.
bad member of the Don Callis family?
Well, but the ones that get overlooked, I mean, when you're talking about, I mean, you talk about, right now the biggest deal is Okada versus Takeshita, and don't get me wrong, both those guys are great, but I think Josh Alexander is equally as good as both of those guys. Kyle Fletcher is equally as good as both of those guys, and they're not. Kyle Fletcher is, but definitely not Josh Alexander. I mean, since he's come to AEW, he's eaten a lot of pins, and he's been. I mean, he's had moments, but like he definitely hasn't been the standout that I thought he would be. Trent Beretta, who I know was injured for a while but came back, and Rocky Romero, they're both better than what they're getting from the Don Callis family, which is almost nothing. You know what I mean? So it's just
I
there are
mean,
definitely
I think that those are two really good guys to have in a stable, Rocky and Trent. Like neither of them like have ever been headline attractions.
it's true. That's true.
And but like they're a great tag team together. They've been a great tag team together. They were a tag team together as baby faces. Now we get to see them as a tag team as heels. And so there's an interesting dynamic behind that.
Yeah,
Like
no, I
they're definitely great to have. And
right.
it, part of me is like, would it even work if you try and make them like main event caliber? Like, because they've never been main event caliber.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those tough questions, right? Because I think talent-wise, they're both good enough to be main event caliber. The question is, why are they not? I mean, I'm not sure. I guess when you're ranking people and you're looking at people on a list or they're standing in a line, some people stand out and some people don't. And for whatever reason, those guys are ones that get pushed to the mid card. I don't know, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But it's the same kind of thing. It's the same feelings that I have ultimately with like the Death Riders. I mean, even though the Claudio Castagnolis and the Wheeler Yutas get a lot of time, the Daniel Garcias, who's now with them, get a fair amount of time. It's definitely John Moxley's faction. I mean, you don't, Pac and Claudio, they're doing John's bidding. I mean, it's not, when was the last time we saw Claudio actually get like a legitimate run as a singles wrestler for a title in AEW? I mean, we haven't. Like he's
He
been
was Ring of Honor champion, wasn't he?
he might have been, yeah, he very well might have been. But other than that, he's been basically just John's lackey. You know what I mean? He's too good to be in the background. And, he gets a fair amount of TV time, but he still hasn't got the push and the notoriety that he deserves. And so, I don't know. I just worry about factions in
The
general being too
talent
big.
for AEW is crazy.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
like we're mentioning dudes like these, and like yeah, they're treated like mid card, and it's like,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah. I
Like
mean, a lot of
Eddie
these guys,
Kingston. We haven't even talked about Eddie Kingston. Like that dude is phenomenal. Love Eddie
yeah.
Kingston.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, a lot of these guys, and my feeling isn't that, again, I'm not up on WWE because it's been a while, but it feels like a lot of these guys would go to WWE and be right at the top of the pile. So, or could be at the top of the pile. So, but I mean, not that WWE
There's
is looking
Samoa
at one.
Joe. Like the only problem with Samoa Joe is that like he's doing a TV show, so he doesn't have all the time in the world to come in and wrestle. But man, like
Yeah,
that's a dude who I'm always hyped whenever I see his name on a card. I'm like, freaking Samoa Joe, let's freaking go.
1000%. Yeah, no, and a couple weeks ago, I think it might have been on Dynamite or it was a Wrestle Dream. Nigel was talking about Samoa Joe and their history, and I was like, "Ooh, give us a Nigel Samoa Joe match just one more time, just one more Nigel Samoa Joe match." Nigel's got one more. That's the other guy I want to see him wrestle. We saw Danielson, so now let's see Samoa Joe one more time. But yeah, no, I mean Joe has made his way to the top of my all-time favorite list now. I think he's number one on my favorite list. Um, and so yeah, I mean I'm here for that. And Osprey and Swerve are out at the moment. I mean, we're not even talking, I mean, those are two of the best wrestlers
Yeah.
on the planet, and they're out at the moment. So I mean,
Uh,
and
Hangman Page, MJF, Darby Allen, like
yeah,
the roster for AEW is crazy.
yeah, no, I
Like
agree.
as much as I appreciate some of the dudes in WWE, like when you compare one to the other, it's just night and day for me when it comes to the
I
men.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I can't believe people still, if you're a wrestling fan, why you're still choosing WWE over AEW. But
I mean, if you're a big
again,
fan of women's wrestling, I can understand it because like there's two good feuds for the women in AEW at a given time,
yeah,
maybe three.
yeah,
But aside from that, there's usually not much going on for the women.
yeah, this
Like
is true.
like when it comes
I
to the
mean,
top end talent for the women, AEW can compete. But when it comes
and even
to the women as a whole, like WWE does have that market.
and even then, even then, as much as I think Chris Statlander is fine. I'm not sure. I think she should be or AEW Women's
Uh,
Champion.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've said before, I'll say again, I've never been a stat fan.
right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her. I just don't think that that's
No,
the right spot for her. I
I'm
think that's
yeah,
just for
I'm just not a fan. Like
right.
I don't begrudge
So
anybody who is a fan. If you're a fan, great for you.
yeah,
like
I always saw her as more of like a mid card talent, upper mid card, as opposed to world champion. But so I mean,
I
we'll
I'd put
see.
her like on the same line as like Penelope Ford. Although I
Yeah,
am a Penelope Ford fan, but like for their like talent, ability, promo, like all that, like I think they're pretty even to each other.
yeah, yeah.
Great mid
But
card. I if I was booking, I'd never have them as the champion. But great mid card, I'd definitely hire them.
yeah, I mean, I feel Tony Khan is definitely one of those guys that feels like if you pay your dues, he wants to give you a chance type of guy. And that's great
Mm-hmm.
because, for a lot of people that wouldn't, that might not get a shake in another company, and that's great. At the same time, you still have to suffer through those moments where you kind of realize, yeah, that's probably why that person isn't wasn't champion somewhere else or hasn't had a bigger because they probably aren't quite that good. I understand you like them. I understand they done what you asked them to do and all those things, but like, yeah, you could see like it's okay. Um, and Statlander might be one of those decisions. So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't,
But
me personally,
it's
I
also
don't,
another thing that's like an advantage to them because it keeps the a rotation. It keeps revolving. You're not going to
yeah,
have situations of like a Roman Reigns being champion for 4 years.
yeah, Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I
Like,
agree. I mean,
you're lucky if you hold the title for longer than a year.
yeah. Well, I think that's fairly true. And that's a tough run because
Like,
there's so many good wrestlers. I mean, you're gonna have to beat a lot of good people to keep that title for a year in AEW, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, if you hold an AEW title for longer than a year, you're in that top caliber of talent.
Yeah. Tony Khan was quoted as saying that the MJF Adam Cole storyline was the best, one of the best that AEW's told in their 5 or 6 years of existence. 6 years of existence. What do you think of
It was a great storyline.
that? It was pretty good. I mean, I feel like there were a couple times where it dragged on a little bit, but for the most part, though, it was really good. The only issue that I have is that they never really got to tie a total bow on it because Adam Cole never quite came back 100% for any like the time.
Yeah.
So I'm still hoping,
It,
that he
is he
gets he gets
retired
healthy.
or is
I mean, I haven't heard anything official. I think he's still trying to recover and get back. I mean, I think that's the hope, but who knows? I mean, I haven't heard that he officially retired, but
oh, another shout out I got to give to Jungle Jack.
yeah, I mean, now that he's back with Luchasaurus, I mean, it's all, that's his sweet spot. So at
That
least in
that
my
might be the
opinion,
thing I'm the most hyped about is those two.
yeah, yeah, Jurassic Express being
Because
back to the tag team division is getting better. Is
I
heating up
mean, and
again.
and the journey that both of them went on of like Jungle Boy becoming the scapegoat and joining with the elite and Bullet Club,
Mhm.
and then uh, Luchasaurus becoming Kill Switch and joining with the patriarchy. Like, they just might be the number one tag team in AEW.
Yeah, I mean the fact that you have teams like the Young Bucks, FTR, Jurassic Express. There's plenty of other ones, that are. And I mean, Rodito, they're not long to hold those titles, probably. Unfortunately, even though I love them to death, I just don't think that they're probably long to hold those titles.
You
But
know what?
eh,
I blame Brody King for me losing my voice at Wrestle Dream.
yeah, how fun was Wrestle Dream Live?
Oh, it was good. I couldn't get anybody to chant with me, Baby Dito, Baby Dito. No one joined me.
Live, what was the best match of the night? Crowd wise,
Mm. Oh, crowd wise?
what
Oh,
was the most
Jurassic
over match?
Express versus the Young Bucks.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
EBT trigger.
I can see that. Yeah. Yep.
That
Yep.
is that is that is the greatest thing ever. Instead of BTE, EBT.
EBT trigger. Yep. 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 No, the Bucks are crazy and they're funny. I mean, just all the stuff going on with them being broke and their little storyline at the moment is hysterical. I can't get enough of it. So, and it looks like Don Callis is recruiting them hard. So, and they're money hungry. So you could see them join the Don Callis family too. Like, jeez, Louise.
I
It
hope
seems like
that spreads and more places start chanting EBT trigger, and it's not just a St. Louis thing.
the crowd in St. Louis seemed like they were very live. I mean, it was definitely a good crowd.
Oh, as long as you give us a good show, we get rowdy. Like, you'll notice for a couple matches it kind of dies, but like it's because we aren't really feeling it. But you give us something good, boy
How
howdy.
down how down was the crowd when Mark Briscoe didn't win?
Yeah, that was pretty dead. That was.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, I'm trying to think. Loudest boo probably went to Don Callis.
Yeah.
F Don Callis. That was a fun chant. Anytime we saw him, anytime he stood up from that announce chair, went right into chanting. Like, sit back down, sit back down.
That's hysterical. That's funny. Yeah, no, I thought the crowd was good. The show was great. I thought the show overall was really solid. Um, yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Honestly, I
Um,
might have to watch that show and see it from the TV perspective because I
yeah,
saw it from my own seat perspective.
did you have good seats?
Pretty good, yeah. Hard cam side.
Nice, nice. So you got to see most everything. That's good. That's always
Normally, I end up being on the other side where like the camera's facing and not
right,
sitting behind the camera.
right, right. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yep, yep.
Um, hmm. Uh, I'm trying to think of best moment aside from the EPT trigger, because that's definitely the best moment. Uh,
What about John saying I quit?
yeah.
Man, the crowd wasn't. I mean, it seemed like the crowd was pretty into it.
Uh, I I mean, yeah. I don't think that was the biggest moment though.
No,
Um,
no title
Man, I'm
change
really trying to
there.
think. What was the biggest moment? Honestly, it might have been Brody King. That that might have been the loudest that we got.
Oh my God, excuse
Because
me.
I really can't think of a moment where we got louder.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It's a long night.
Definitely a great time. And this was actually my first pay per view,
Okay,
unless you count Road Rager.
okay. Which is just a
Do you
special
count
match.
that as a pay per view?
Probably not. No.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that was a fun AEW show, but like that's just
Right.
a
Right.
special TV thing. That's like a Battle of the Belts. Like,
Right.
is that
Exactly.
really a pay per view?
No, I mean, I think those are. I think pay-per-views are exclusively held on pay-per-view. I think when you have to actually buy them and it's not, your regular free TV program, not free, but regular TV show. That yeah, you can put any kind of name on you, any kind of name you want on it. Fright Night Dynamite. You can call it whatever you want. It's still just a Dynamite show.
So
No,
this
I
was
thought
my
that was
very
pretty good.
first pay per view, and
That's pretty good.
I honestly loved it.
Well, you've been to WWE pay-per-views, so what would you say
No,
is the? Oh, you
I've
haven't?
only
I
been
thought.
to Raws.
Oh, okay. I thought you had been. I thought you meant AEW pay-per-views. Okay, okay.
No, this is my first pay per view ever.
Edinburgh.
I,
Okay.
I've been to TV showings.
Right,
Like,
right, right, right.
well, pay per views don't come to St. Louis that often, and usually when they do, like I'm either busy or broke.
I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, I mean they come here to Portland sometimes. They definitely used to come to California sometimes, but it's you can't get to them all. That's for sure. So,
Like
and
I thought that I wasn't going to be able to go to this show because like me and my buddy had planned to go, and he told me like a month before the show, "Hey, I got plans. I can't make it. Should I return the tickets?" And I was like, "Well, uh, I don't think I have anybody else I can go with if you're not going with me. So I guess return the tickets." And then a couple days before the show, my brother-in-law, who has been real sick, said that he got tickets and he felt up to going and asked me if I'd go with him. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was dying to go to this show. Like the only
Right.
reason I didn't say to my buddy of like, oh, hey, I can give the ticket to my brother-in-law is because my brother-in-law had been in the hospital at that time, and I was like, I don't know if he's gonna be up for this in a month.
Right.
But lo and behold, everything worked out, and I still got to go.
Nice. And your brother-in-law's obviously feeling a little bit better.
He was feeling pretty terrible after sitting in that chair for like 4 hours, but
Yeah, I mean that's the other part. Like I've been doing, a couple pay-per-views and a bunch of, regular TV taping shows, and it's like I enjoy watching them at home more. I mean, it's great to be there and fun to experience it, but like it's hot, it's crowded. Depending on where you are, you might not have a great view. Like and it's like it's so like it's man, and it's expensive, and it's just I don't know. It's one of those things you should experience at least once, or twice or whatever. But like beyond that, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's a terrible thing to say because you should always be appreciative to see anything live. It sounds like whatever, but at the same time, it's just live events can be definitely they can be trying for sure. So
and another thing is that a 2 hour show compared to a 4 hour show, like you're going to lose your voice if you are as active a participant as I am. Like,
no doubt, yeah, I like to
my
be on the
voice was
screen
gone
too.
after Brody King. Like,
I'm a big yeller. I'm a big screamer too. Yeah, I like to wait till everyone else stops and then I yell and everyone hears me.
like I'm one of the
I
dudes who tries to start chants. Like,
yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I get I was at a TNA show with a friend. I want to say it was, I don't know, maybe early 2000s. Matt and Jeff Hardy were in TNA at the time. So it was early 2000s, maybe whatever. I don't even remember when it was. Maybe it was mid 2000s, but we in 2005, six, whatever. We were at a show and we were like third row back because it was a TNA show. So it wasn't a whole lot of, it was fairly cheap. So we were like third row back and since he's, and I yelled at some wrestler and he came over and got all in my face. We all got in each other's face like, you suck. I'm like, you suck. He's like, fat boy. I'm like, shut up, skinny. Get into it. Like, oh man, it was great. Everybody was like, oh. So, I mean, I'm definitely one of those, like, I like to chant and tell people they suck. When we went to local wrestling, I used to talk shit to guys in the ring. Like, so, yeah, I mean, I paid my money. I want to be able to have fun. So, yeah.
uh, oh, uh, if you watch the show and you hear somebody chanting for Mercedes, that's probably me because I think I was the only one cheering for her. Everybody else wasn't.
Nobody wanted Mercedes to win, huh?
Nah, I did.
Yeah.
CEO, CEO, CEO. If you hear that, that's me. That's me.
That's funny.
I'm that guy.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, this has been about an hour, so that's about a good time, I guess, to probably call it. I will wrap it up by saying this. The only way that the Cowboys benefit from the Quinnen Williams trade is if they actually get a defensive coordinator that knows how to coordinate a defense. Matt Eberflus does not know nothing
Wait,
of how
what?
to use
Huh?
Quinnen
Wait,
Williams. What?
Quinn
Go ahead.
Williams
Oh, yeah, the Cowboys just traded for Quinnen Williams.
for how
Second round
much?
a 2022, a 2026 second round pick, a 2027 first round pick, and Mozzie Smith for Quinnen Williams.
All right. I mean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 And they went and got a linebacker that is someone I hadn't heard of too. I want to say his name is Logan something, and apparently he's like he's been a solid linebacker for several years. A guy that I've never heard of, but they traded for him. A seventh round pick for him. So they're both supposed to stabilize the Cowboys defense. But again, it doesn't matter if you don't have a coach that knows how to be a defensive coordinator. Sorry, Matt Eberflus, but you suck. I would
All right. So
say,
Mozzie Smith was 2023. So
yeah,
he's in his third year right now.
yeah. Yeah, I've been very disappointing. I mean, I'm just glad that they got rid of him. Like anyone that's willing to take him, I'm happy. at this point. I mean, I was happy about him when he came out. Like I was like, oh, Monty Smith's gonna be good, but he did not be good so far.
Yeah.
So
And now you guys have a top 5 defensive tackle in the league out of
yeah,
Quinnen Williams.
yeah, yeah, and he's gonna help Kenny Clark in the middle. Kenny Clark is going to be solid, and Quinton Williams is going to help him because he's going to take pressure off Kenny Clark. And then, yeah, no, hopefully it helps them. The only problem is we still have a bad defensive coach. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. And at this point, a bad coach in general, Brian Schottenheimer's not doing a great job. As far as I'm concerned, they can fire them both, the coach and the
Like
defensive coordinator. The defense is so
Quinn
terrible, dude.
Quinnen Williams was debatably the best person on the Jets. I think he was number 2.
Mhm.
I'd give number 1 to Sauce
Who they
Gardner.
traded to? They traded him to Indianapolis.
Mm.
Indianapolis at 7-2. Yeah, very interesting season. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna,
But
man.
this is
I don't.
good for the Jets of unloading their top end in order to build for the future.
I
Because
guess they have.
Quinn Williams is what 27 right now,
Yeah, he was the first pick in the 2019 draft or something. So he's been in the league for 5 years, 6 years. So yeah,
but you're trading him for a second to and a first. Like,
apparently the Jets now have like 5 first-round picks over the next 3 years. So that they've gotten in trades between Sauce Gardner and Quinton Williams and just other stuff they have. They're stacking those first-round picks apparently. So we'll see. Maybe it hasn't done them any good in the past, but we'll see future.
man,
Yeah.
uh, I haven't been paying attention of the trade news. So this is all new
Oh,
to me. And now
yeah.
that we've discussed this, as soon as we get off of here, I'm gonna look something up and find
Yeah.
out who all the trades are now. Cause like,
Yeah.
woo.
All right.
Cause I
I'll do a
checked
little
in
bit
at
of
like 2 p.m. and I was like, oh, no trades have been made. Okay.
house. I didn't really hear of any
Everybody
other
waits
major.
until the last freaking minute to make their trades.
Yeah, I didn't really hear of any major blockbuster ones other than that one, but there probably were. I
The
just
Jets traded 2 blockbuster ones.
they did. They definitely did. They definitely did. Yeah.
Did they trade
Yeah.
Brees Hall?
No, not that I'm aware of. Not yet. Not yet. They
That's
just traded
surprising
Sauce
because
Gardner.
Brees Hall was the one who I anticipated them trading.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
their
Well,
running back. I assumed that their running back was the one that was going to get traded. They traded their defensive tackle and cornerback. Wow.
yep. Yep. Do a little housekeeping. Join us every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, like we are here right now for the cookout, where we come together and talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. Come for the wrestling and stay for the chaos. Tune in on Friday nights when Anika and Sammy Joe or Anika, whoever is with her sometimes, or alone, watches Friday Night SmackDown starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. In real time, they give you their real time opinions and reviews of the show as they watch it. On Saturday mornings, it's Winner's Circle, where we review AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision from the Saturday and the Wednesday before. We grade each show, and whichever show has the highest grade at the end is our winner, i.e., Winner's Circle. So make sure and join us every Saturday morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern for that. You can scan this QR code and that will take you to Linktree. And from Linktree, you can get to all of our social media from one location. We are on all of those social media platforms up on the screen right there. So come check us out. We love to interact with you guys. So come on and check us out on any of these social media platforms. And last but not least, if you don't have time to watch the cookout on Tuesday nights live, you can listen to the audio version on all of these podcast platforms. You can listen to it while you're driving around in your car, while you're working out, while you're practicing wrestling moves with your friends in the backyard. Wherever you want to listen to the cookout, we are there for you on the audio side as well. So, unless you got anything else to say, we will say peace and good night to the people. Peace.